Khotso ki dumedise HOD ki dumedise le bohle ba tsamayang le HOD ki dumedise mekgatlo e teng ka mona le mekgatlo e emetseng kemedi ya mmuso FDC e teng ke bone ke lebetse o botsa ka mano re SEZ e kae hobane le bona ntse re kopa hore ho tseo ba ntseng ba dietsa ke kopile hore ba bene le SMME hub so that a di kgwebo tse kgolo di skanetsa lo batla dintho tse ding ho le kwa ba di batla hona ka mo kara SEZ so ke ntho ngwe re tsang re kentse roll vona tjena ya chili se etsang chili sauce so ke tse le batho ba ntseng ba batla ho roka ba etsang re nne re ba pakelle ona le corner it's doing fela specially for the SMME kara SEZ so tau ha wa bona o ska ba lwantsha ke instruction re faneng ka yona jwale ke dumedise batho ba teng kaofela mona le kemedi ya tsa kgwebo tse teng mona kaofela le mafapha a teng a mmuso he kaofela le borakgwebo ba teng ka mona kaofela ke le dumedisa re kopana ka jeno letsatsi pele ho letsatsi le re tla beng re keteka human rights kapa ditokelo tsa botho re a tseba hore ka lemo tse 65 batho ba ile ba bolawa mole ba lwanela ditokelo tsa botho so a o sheba nalane ya history ya rona dintho di tla ne di fetwe jwalo le fumano okay se rena le tokelo enana maro bana le tokelo tse ntjha tse hlahang e nngwe ya tsona ke eo ya hore batho ba be le tokelo ya hore ba fumane mesebetsi hore ditokelo tse ding di kgone ho fumana tokelo ya ho apara tokelo ya dijo ya ho nwa metsi ya ho isa bana dikolong di a etsahala ntho tse ba tlamehile di etsa le ka hobane hona le enana o tlameleng re etse hore batho ba bane le access to opportunities and talents out there to create jobs ene ke bo madimatlo hore mosebetsi ona o etsala mona na Thabo Mofutsanyane e ileng ya relwa ka mora ntate Edwin Thabo Mofutsanyane ebile ene le teacher ebile e le journalist ya dintho tse ngata ya marangrang a mangata agenda a tsa religion and let's ethnicity le race so ke motho a ngotseng ka dintho tse ngata ntate Mofutsanyana o ile a joina Communist Party ra tseba and yaba e mong ya tshepahalang haholo ho ma-Afrika dilemong tsa bileng teng le periodong ele ya the early 30s jwale ke tlotla hore SEZ le launching ena e re kopantseng ka jeno it happens here because you guys have a story to tell previously and today so you must continue now to build from the foundation that I have referred to so I just want to join the conversation in responding to some of the questions and re ke re lokise le puo a hore ke buile le MEC maro o ngolletse text fela wa mpontsha dinepe ka bona ke di fitisetsa pele mo ka araba because ke emetse dikarabo so aka itlama ka re next aka bua le ntate ke bontshitse fela ke bontshitse go ke di badile ka di fitisetsa pele because in the main the municipalities must respond particularly dintho tse lo reng ke tsa infrastructure metsi motlakase jwale re sebetsa mmoho le masipala wa mona lapeng so ke a di fitisetsa bona hore hey you are killing my business because my people who are doing business here have these shortcomings so once I've got an answer I will go back to the person who reported that this is the story that I must correct. The second thing, I think you are all in the correct platform. And sometimes I really bomme in our language ya mmuso re le kenyeleditse lona le batho ba bontate in the same way, how Bala Bible, it will always refer to men, but as human beings. So lorna ngatare re batho ba bomme ba rokang ha o tseba wa roka le motho ntate se kana na ra isolate rokentse because we are also trying to build a non-sexist society. Wena fela latella mosebetsi ga wa le taba ena ya gender. Now ntho re kopantseng ka jeno ke hore ho launchwa the cluster development strategy, and ntate tiso tswana explain ka mo le itse ena ya ka jeno ke intention re batla ho le khadisa re le bontshe majo re a le khadisa re ka etsa ntho itseng. So it means we must now come back and say this thing is happening, it can happen. So ka jeno re a le khadisa fela ke ena ntho a lona e re ka etsang ha re boneng re ka etsa jwang. And he explained in that meeting that there's difference between cluster and cooperatives, and he has done it also here. But I think in the main is that with the cluster, you still have your own businesses. You are just being clustered by the intention of the textile. SOD mentioned other things, but in this case, I will talk about the textile. So it's important that people should not feel, or you are not welcomed. You are all welcomed here, and you are in the right platform. Including le maponisa ke bono ke le maponisa mo, you are also in the right platform. Ale ka utlwa ba ntse ba lla ka hona le botsotsi. So working together with you, it's very much important. So we are not going to undermine that. But also le lona le re thusa ha o tho reka uniform le re se ke la hlola le reka Gauteng hona le difeme ka mo tsa mo reka uniform ya maponisa ka mona. So everyone here is welcomed. Now what is important for us is now to say, what is it that we need to do? So I will say to every one of us here, let's turn this mukhadiso one that is into a highway program. Everywhere mothong batho ba kopana ba batla ho etsa mosebetsi, where people have gathered with the intention of creating jobs, we must be able to support. So that should be the intention. We need to be intentional in terms of supporting the SMMEs, but also in terms of supporting initiatives where people are taking initiatives, where people are eager for the market, where people are eager for just the stop of crime in their environment. We must be very much intentional as government. So this is what we want to do. These clusters are now recognized by the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. So as in 2030, it's an international concept that is being practiced by other countries. And if let's take this thing of the foreign nationals. They're involved in a cluster activity. Everyone owns his tech shops, but when they go and stock, they stock together. When they put price together. Even when they decide to sell expiry goods, they sell them together. So when things are wrong, they do them together. So that's clustering. You still have your own business, but there are other things that force you to do them together. So, but Ronaldo will encourage listen to the wrong. All what we are calling upon all of you is that begin to think about clustering development, which it does not take your business away. You still have your own business. You still run your own business. But there are these common things. If you want assistance from government, don't come alone. Come as a cluster. And your voice will be even more, loud than when you come as individuals. So that is why this cluster is important. So it is important for a lot of things. It is important for you to know that even when we fall, we are going to fall together. But even when we rise, we are going to rise together. So it is important for us to know that the cluster now, or the cluster concept of development, is the way to go. So with industrial parks, it's going to be easy because you are there as in the park. It's one of the class in school. Banabaka school is the uniform. And the uniform is derived from the word unity. So those who are in that cluster, they will have to be united. There are a lot of things that must unite you. Here at home, you must be united by a lot of challenges that are in those industrial parks. One of them being electricity, the second one being water, okay? And the third one being this one, vandalism. So those things, they must make you to be united. One person was asking me about, what are you going to do about security? I said, no, but these are business people. So I did not want to answer. I said, these are business people. They must also look at the best models as to, now that we are here, we are operating in this space, how best can we secure our own property? Sometimes we don't need to have answers from national or provincial government. On our own, we must start to begin to think outside the box. There's a police station here, we must begin to engage the police. So what are the best models that we can begin to protect our property? But in a very clustered way, it's gonna be easy. But how you only want to, I mean, this park, Shopagakena, in a Lebutata, sometimes my police can just advise you, no. Just put an electric fence and put cameras for the whole park. As a cluster, you are agreeing that, okay, let's do this thing. Hali shorter, MEC, you see how it's easy for you to resolve other things when you are clustered. So it's very much important to you must begin now to think about this concept is the way to go. At times with clusters is the assignment that we are being given. Sometimes you school or uniform about 2,000. You know that you don't have capacity yourself, but at least you know tender. There's nothing wrong to ask this person next to you to say, Emily, I've got this thing, they need 2,000. Can you help me? Can this one also help me? The name that is going to come up, Ketso Makume. But Ketso Makume knows that I also share with these ones. But the nice thing is that everyone is going to have a share. But these people will even come back to me and say, Ketso Makume, can you now do 10,000? But because I know you are there, we are able also to share again. So that's the most important thing. So if you are not going to be able to do those things, you can So clustering helps us also to do. The other thing is the support from government. I don't want to tell you that we don't have money in the Free State, in the country. I can't have problem or whether VAT, all those things, it's an indication that we don't have new money. But we've got plans, we've got ideas. We might not have money, but really at least ideas. That one I can tell you, we can defeat a lot of people about it. So when you are clustered, it is easy for you to say, MEC, on a photocopy machine, and then the next time just buy this big one where all of us we can use it. So you also say for government, and you show a sense of being selfless, not being selfish. And you're able to take a collective responsibility. Because what we are all doing, all of us here, we want to create jobs so that we should build a better society. We want to create jobs so that there shouldn't be anyone vandalizer, because they know I've got something that I gain from this thing. But the moment you start to work together, it's going to be easy for you. I was telling these other ones the other day that there are these machines that I've sold. This guy was telling me that this machine, you can put different kinds of textile, but this was dealing at So it means if you have been asked to do trousers and the other one is being asked to do jerseys, if government buy you one big machine that you can all use, there's no need for you to fight over that machine. The only thing that you need to do is to be responsible. That if Rekalaka 80, all of us, we must be there at 80, but with like massive manufacturing on that day. So it's easy for now for government to know in this place we can also help these people because they are clustered. We can help these people if they are there. Harna problem the next thing I cut out to say owner, then the other person comes. But because we are clustered, you know that these are our common needs. Can you as government help us? We have already moved Rona as industrialist to do 1, 2, 3, but at least there's a shortage here. Can government help us? So it also helps you to make government to be aware that these people are serious, they do what they need to do, and when they speak in one voice or one message, different voices. At the end of the day, you all win. You are going to lose if we are still going to do an individualistic approach to how business must do business. We must now change how we think, how we plan things, how we do these things. For instance, in that we say, Foshini atlakoye. But we don't only need Foshini, we need all these shops to come here and to ask for you guys to produce for them, to manufacture for them. But it means his weight, somehow, somebody must begin to say, I must match that man. And that they must also be able to say, hey, this is how I do it, just to get the market. And it helps you also to grow. That's the clustering. So when we are sitting in a cluster meeting, we must be able to say, this is how we can share in this thing. This one we can still go alone. You still agree that these ones, everyone for himself, but these other ones, the broader picture, we are all together in this thing. So it's going to be very much important that let's look at those things collectively. Capitalism, we can talk all those things, but as long as we are unable to put bread on the table, all these concepts, they mean nothing. So what do? You start now to eat all these systems in the piece by piece. As a cluster. Just take an air, so that's the clustering thinking. So this is why we are here today. So we are going to have that local inspection that side. It's not going to be the end. And I visited that place. And I said to them, but here we really need to fix this situation. You can't have those people being seated in that kind of an environment. As HOD was saying, it's even going to be very much impossible for us to talk to investors and say, come and invest here. The first thing they look at the building. Just imagine that if an investor comes to you and nature calls, and crashing, somewhere crashing, 5 kilometers away. So it can't be. So it means we must fix our own infrastructure first. So it's very much important. But it's easy now because we are doing it in a cluster format. So we must go and do those local inspections, but we must begin today, Executive Mayor, to mobilize your business to say, if you are united and you are clustered, the MEC said there's 100% of you being assisted in a very different way. It could be financial and non-financial. Because that's our business as a department, to ensure that we support you, non-financial ways and the financial ways. So if the mayor is going to start to begin to have this thing, the clustering must actually include the following things also, given the local content. Because I'm about to explain this kind of thing. I explain how you slapping munor. Ibulela ingtu. Iba unala maholokwe. Marenak. Ayuko panzenga etam sevit. Imba basa utwan. Rituse morba utwan so that when they come, ibiyana batiswa kwe na mrenaka or kiba na makume bakopa. Haba tusuwe batwa. Matata bonakia. So all what we need is that clustering should not be seen outside the whole picture of building a united Malutia Pofu, a united Thabo Mofutanyana, a united Free State, and a united South Africa. It must be seen within that context that we are building one country and we want each and every one of us to hold each other's hand and remove Nkaufe. We are unable to do that because we appear to be not loving each other. We appear to be jealous of each other. At times, in a vandalism, kids, I can tell you a story because I also in the other businesses. So if there's a tavern, HOD, and this tavern is making, the owner of the tavern is not making that side. It stops that tavern to make business. But every time you trace, man, that owner, jealous. Now, all your cars can't move. So what are you going to do? You look for another place where you can enjoy your mind. So you don't have to do those things. All what you need to do is, how best can I do my business to look the same way like you are doing? There's nothing wrong to knock. Hey man, owner so and so, how did you make it? I'm doing this thing, yan pal. O tla fumana hore wena a o hlatswe dikgalase. O fa batho dikgalase tse ditshila. O tla fumana hore biri ya hao ya chase. Ya ntate ona ya bata. So ha re lokise taba, re patise taba tsena tsa bontate. Ke fara ke la bone, o sane ke holiday. Ha re tswa mona re tswe di bata. So I'm just saying it on a lighter note, but it's important for you to look first on your own weaknesses, and when you join others, you are then able to say, this is what I think my weaknesses are. It's going to help you to build a proper business for the people of this area. If there's not going to be any business development anywhere in the globe, people are going to be unemployed, and you know, once they're unemployed, it's a time bomb. Already in South Africa, you know that we always say that we are seated on a time bomb. You can't have such high rate of young people who are unemployed. And I'm happy that young people are saying we are now involved in textile. Plus, there's fashion entle. So it's important that we really have to work hard to support businesses, but businesses support yourselves by beginning to cluster and unite. FDC, I will tell you what I told them. MEC hapa ke wa tsa ditšhelete, and ke o tla ke like ke bua le nna ke bua ka FDC ke bua le nna mara ke le MEC wa treasury ke re FDC, I'm not going to give you money, you must go and look for money. I'm happy about what Ntate Tau has been saying here, that they are already doing that, because looking for money sometimes it does not mean they must go and break the bank. No, just sort out the governance and administrative issues. Sort out those things that will make investors to be attracted to you. Sort out the image. Once you have done those things, people will just come and say, okay, we can invest here. There was a bank, you know that bank, I don't want to say it by name. Its situation has improved today. The top four, just on management of money. So there's nothing wrong that it look a bank. How did you make it? Situation in FDC, that bank is from that situation. And sure, banking here. Not Capitec, but let's have a bank. So, relay shop flat. Business as usual. It was a nice concept. People coming together, marena, kopani, government, worked on building society. I love it. Muchini Caravella, Muchini Muso, yo. Back in a bike 8 because people are not united. This thing is not going to help if we are doing it this way. So the clustering is important because we come back here, we meet, and say we were here when we launched this thing. The vision was this one, not this one. So it's going to be very much important. You cluster yourself, you work together, you fall together, you rise together. Everything is just together. We make profit, we make it together. We want security, we are all involved. So that's the clustering. So clustering is going to help us to really minimize our problems. But also it's going to help government to know exactly that if we go to this area, if we do this, this is what we are going to get in this cluster. And the data will not encourage our clustering, we will competition at the clusters. Which one perform the best? Because business is also about competition. If you don't compete amongst yourself, but not that one. I'm saying a very productive, positive competition. They will award the best performing cluster. You will see they will do their own thing. it's also about your just surroundings. I'm not sure how many people who go to the malls now. In the Free State, I don't want to talk about other provinces. But if you are clustered, how no can say Tuba Mona one summit? Bookendad, 12 guy. How no one cold drink coffee? There has to be ways of correcting all those things. So it's going to be very much important that we cluster ourselves, even for the cleaning environment of our own, but also even to think big. Somebody was talking about having a warehouse so that when these things are needed, so it means if you are clustering yourselves, you may even say, let's produce as many as possible, put them in a warehouse. At the season when these things are needed, rather we just go to the warehouse and then we take out. But I don't know about China. So it's going to be very much important that we really have to work together. So to the end, Majoro, challenges are masipala. I want you to look at them not as a stop sign. The problem most leaders they do, when they look at the problem or the challenge, they start to stop. Look at those problems as a guideline. Guideline guides you where you must go. Navigate amongst those challenges and overcome them and move forward. Don't stop. Because once you stop, everything comes to a standstill. So every challenge that we come across in life, just don't take it as a stop sign. When David was confronting Goliath, and I told many people this thing, it's not written in the Bible, but David looked at Goliath and said, so that's how you look at the challenge. Just focus on one. Okay, electricity, I don't know. Just do that. You look at David. So I'm just saying, David, that's how you look at the problem. You look at Goliath. Everyone ran away. You, Goliath. We must not do that. Because these ones are the ones who stop. But we must then pretend to be both David Bakaji and say, you are Goliath. But I'm sure I go miss. And everyone like we Goliath. Thank you very much.